Hi, hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show how I turned Pinterest aesthetic images into characters. It's something I've really wanted to do for a long time, especially because these like space images with really saturated blue kept like going around Pinterest for a really long time, and I love the shapes that come with them, especially specifically with like the sun and the moon bouncing off of the light. So I definitely want to do that. And then we have also a couple of purple images that I saw that I also really wanted to turn into a character because they just looked super like mystical and magical, and I couldn't get over it. So we are doing two character designs today, and I hope you stay for both of them. So that first one is the space one I was talking about. I adore the contrast in the original, like photos. The contrast between like the really dark blue and the really light yellow is something I really wanted to catch, especially the glowing aspect. And so I knew I wanted to do a crown on the character because that was what was in my mind, and also it reminds me of like how angels used to look in old paintings because of their halos. And I really wanted to include that. And then as I was sketching, I also got the idea, also I wanted to do a veil on the face. That was also very important to me. But as I was doing the drawing, I realized it needed more contrast. So I ended up doing a rib cage in the yellow, so it like contrasted a bit more. And then I slowly added a couple more like not jewel tones, gold tones to like contrast a bit more, especially since it was a more inhuman design. It was way more like celestial than I first thought it would be, but I don't mind it like at all, and I adore the final product. I also halfway chose this image because my favorite color is blue, and specifically like blue and purple tones. So I felt really comfortable working with specifically like the contrast and highlights and shadows of this piece, and I felt more confident than I would with like another color. I also thought about, I don't know if they would talk. I don't have names for either of them, so if you want to comment any names, that would also be greatly appreciated. Um, and then I also have my other video where you can also name the characters. But basically, I think they would be like a bringer of like astrological predictions, which would be like really cool, especially since because like their limbs are kind of fading in and out with the stars. So, yeah. All right, on to the next one. The next one is purple. As you can see from the photos that appear, one is a giant bracelet, the other is little flowers. And this goes back to what I said about the purple tones. I love light purple so much. So that's why I did a mix of like the bracelet with the silver and then the blue and then the light purple. So basically, I knew I wanted to incorporate the beads from the bracelet in the design, but I didn't really know the rest of the design. So this was more like I didn't have an idea beforehand, especially about the colors. You'll see me switch up the colors like a lot in this drawing. But I really like the idea I had, like eventually. Like her silhouette is really nice. I thought she could be like a more maternal figure, especially if she's like she's not human because her ears and the fact that her skin is pink. Like there's so I thought she could be kind of a guide for, I guess, young spirits, and I don't really know. I have to think about it a bit more to be honest, but I really love how she turned out. She is so pretty. I really like the silhouette I got. I also love the hair, like, so much. Dude, the eyes, anyway. Basically, I tried to incorporate the gems that were on the bracelet, on the necklace, and on her choker, and eventually I put the flowers as earrings on her ears. And then I also, for her eyes, eventually I did yellow because it contrasted well with the blue tones and the purple tones. But an important thing in this design was having her have like the giant big chunky necklace. I really wanted that to be part of her silhouette and part of her staple. I also wanted her to be very flowy, like not only like the flowers, but also like the light reflecting, the light going through the windows, in like church buildings. Like I wanted her to kind of fade in and out. And again, like with both of these designs, just being very like unearthly, like inhuman, but also like very comforting at the same time. With the necklace, I did try to combine like different tones from the images and not just go with solid purple to try and contrast. And I think it worked out well. I thought it was a good contrast next to her skin and her hair and her dress. Eventually, I go back in and I change a lot of the. I did this with the skin tone as well. Change a lot of the pink tones to purple or blue tones, because again, like I didn't really have her color palette in mind. I knew what hair color I wanted, definitely. Um, but like with her skin tone, like I tried to do the blush a couple times. Like, ooh, right now you can see I really love how her outfit looks like right now. Like those colors is what I wanted. And the pink was just like a bit too warm tone and clashed too much, especially with like, cause like color theory, when you put like the warm pink next to a bunch of the cool, like other colors, sometimes it can look like dirty. And I did not want it to look like a smudge on her dress. But thank you so much for watching, and if you like my content, like and subscribe. And if you want to see the next one, one should pop up right now. And bye.